Hello.
How are ya?
Good. How are you?
I'm tired. I went back to the dentist again today.
Oh,
I
same
went
one.
to go, yeah, I went to go and get the cleaning that I originally scheduled for last week, but
Right. I
wound up
remember that.
having the emergency repair. Mm. So, yeah, no further damage, and I'll see you in 6 months.
Nice.
Your day's going okay so far?
Yes, it's pretty mellow so far. Because I think it's because
No.
the previous 3 days were busy, which is fine, which is expected. Thursdays are kind of hit and miss.
Hmm.
But now it's just kind of one of those days where now I've reached out to you. Now I need you to follow up with me. So there's not much I can do till you follow up with me.
The ball's in their court.
Yeah, and then I followed up with some of them earlier in the week because I hadn't heard from them in like a week and a half. I'm like, well, let me just push this to the top because we got lost. Like, what are we doing here?
Mm, okay. Oh, and after I left the dentist, I stopped by one of my favorite stores and I got gummy bears.
Um, them ain't Haribo, so okay.
But they're still gummy bears and they were what was at hand. And I thought of you and I bought them. And then I went to McDonald's and got some french fries.
Right, right. People talk about people. I'm telling people you only go to McDonald's for pretty much the McFlurry. If we're being honest, the
I've never had
McFlurry
a McFlurry.
they're good.
I've never had a McRib. I've
Don't
never
do
had a
it. That don't
McFlurry.
do.
It doesn't seem right to me because I asked someone what it was. Oh, it's like, a rib sandwich. I said, so it has bones? And they're like, what bones? I was like, never
Mm-mm.
mind.
No, ma'am.
I equate it to the spam of ribs, I guess. I don't know.
It's just I don't believe it's meat. It's just my opinion. It don't look like meat on the TV.
You don't believe it's me?
I'm sorry if I'm gonna eat a sandwich. I'm not trying to open my sandwich and I have to pick out bones and put the sandwich back together. That's too much work. It's too much work.
Do you
Oh
believe that Subway's tuna fish is really tuna fish?
well, there's a little article that says it's not, so I believe that. So Lisa said it's pieces of pork they put together in a shape that looks like bones. Oh, okay, that's all. I'll tell you about it. There may be okay, okay. Thank you, Lisa. I'm not picking up bones out of a sandwich. I refuse.
What? I don't mind picking the bones out of a sandwich because that's how I know that it's a dead animal.
I'm just not.
That sounds
Mm-mm,
kind of gross, but we're from the
mm-mm,
Caribbean.
no, I want eat. I want to pick up my sandwich and eat it.
Cause look, one of my favorite meals is a goat roti,
Yeah,
and
you tell me about
it
that.
comes with bones in it. And essentially, a roti is like it
Yeah,
can be like a sandwich. You eat
but
it
that's
in your
different
hand,
though. That's different though. When you
but it
expect,
still has bones in it. I don't mind picking because you got
but
to suck on the bones.
that's ethnic though. That's ethnic. We talking McDonald's here. McDonald's is not ethnic. Ethnic things.
McDonald's isn't ethnic.
No.
American isn't ethnic.
That's like saying Taco Bell's ethnic. Next, keep it moving.
Oh, okay.
Like when people say like, "Oh, I want some Mexican food." Okay, where we go? We going to Taco Bell. You know what? I want to need you to stop the car so I can get out. Don't you ever say Taco Bell is ethnic? Get the fuck out of here.
I think I've had Taco Bell once or twice since I've moved to Florida.
Taco
Two
Bell's a taste.
decades.
Taco Bell's a taste.
I haven't
You have to have
acquired
a
that taste.
no. You have to have a taste for it.
No,
I'm just saying you do. I'm just saying you do.
no.
Like
Like I read an article about them and their pink matter, like
oh
their
the cheese.
meat. No, the
No.
meat.
Oh the meat. Oh yeah.
The meat is pink matter. What is pink matter? Like that's the biggest percentage in the meat. Oh my god. There's
they
no
messed
bones,
up.
it's just
They messed up and they
scraps.
took out the Mexican pizza though. That was a huge seller.
What?
The Mexican pizza.
Where was that?
At Taco Bell. It was like a pizza. It has this layer of tostada shell, meat, cheese, another layer. Mexican pizza was so good.
Okay. I'm from Flyoverland. McRib is not anything like barbecue or ribs. Okay. See, I'm thinking that it should be like, a slab of ribs and there's a bone in there. It looks like there's a bone in the picture when I go to the
Right. Yeah, yeah.
drive-through. And everybody gets really excited about it, but I've never tried it. Taco
Yeah,
Hell is for a late night.
yes. Them and Jack in the Box. After midnight, they're typically the only places that are open with drive-through.
I don't think
So,
I've ever had Jack in the Box either, but that's only on
oh,
West Coast. And every time I go to the West Coast, I say I want to go get it, and people go, and I go, okay, next time.
all right, we ready?
Yeah.
All right. So this is episode 1 of Real Housewives Ultimate Girl Trip. What were your
When
overall?
Ride collide. Oof.
I liked it. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here's the reason why I liked it overall is because I felt that it wasn't as produced as the shows normally are. The ladies don't have that history, so they don't know how to move with each other because they really don't. They know each other, but they don't know each other like that.
Uh-huh.
And this is just who they are. Like all their personalities are pretty much the same as they were on their own cast. They do not care,
Mm-hmm.
and I was
Mm-hmm.
here for it. I was here for the whole thing.
How I saw this initially, it took me a while to like really formulate it, but once I got to the house, it kind of felt like all of the babies were dropped off at the crash and it was all their first days and they were all just like sizing each other up. And then I guess the food came out, the bottles came out, and they were just like crying, nasty, snot-ridden children. And that's how I saw it. And the squabbles were not minor, but they weren't as high intensity as what we're seeing lately with all these legal dramas. So
Right,
it was nice to have petty squabbles that would not land you in 30 years in jail.
right. Like the first right away, Ramona couldn't help herself, calling Kenya a bitch. and,
And
and
Portia.
yeah,
She
we'll get to
kept on
that.
calling her Portia. I think that's the bigger insult. I don't
That's
think
what
Kenya
Kenya took
heard
it.
it. Has Kenya heard that
Yeah, because
Ramona's
she
accidentally calling her
yeah,
Portia?
because she they told her in the confessionals.
Oh, okay. But she's not hearing it when Ramona's actually
No.
saying it. I don't think
Mm-mm,
so.
mm-mm.
Ciao. Um, I found it ridiculous that Ramona was the only one who started fighting over rooms. Like, that's not a zhuzh anymore. Ramona, stop. Um, I, and I was surprised. I kind of like Kyle in this
Kyle was
first
fun.
episode.
Kyle was funny.
Yeah. But did you notice that all of a sudden Kyle is no longer scared of flying, but she all of a sudden has body issues? I don't remember her having body issues.
No, the body issues came up about 4 or 5 seasons ago.
It did.
Yes, she was talking. Oh,
With Lisa,
it was
when Lisa's daughter was going through it?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, and she still goes through it. I want to say it was her. For some reason, I want to say it was her, Teddy, and Lisa talking, and she had talked about it, and she still struggles. She still has some struggles.
Okay, so later on she's going to blow up about the name. Okay, good, good, good. Accidentally right. Oop. Ciao. Ramona is the biggest jackass in the group. She is coming off as
She is by far. It's not even close.
I think we spoke about this yesterday. How long is it going to take her to actually shit on the floor of this place?
I said 3 days.
And how these ladies are going to take it, because I think what Luann said was spot on. She's been around Ramona for so long, like she just like she blocks it out or she ignores it. She just moves along. It is what it is with Ramona.
Because to Luann it's normal.
Right, but these other ladies, like
Yeah,
I
no.
don't, I think Ramona was a little surprised that Kenya spoke to her the way she did on the plane with regards to calling her a bitch. Um, and what was that about? She was telling him about the guy at the Shake Shack or whatever, and that she was flirting with him when she was during the breakup of her marriage, right?
The Kong Shack, yeah.
Right. And she was cock blocking that whole trip with him. I'm sorry.
Right.
And it didn't look like he was that interested in her
He
anyway.
wasn't, and he wasn't interested in her this time either
He isn't. She's just one of his patrons.
because he was like there, like first he showered and she was just if she could have thrown it through the phone, she'd have thrown it through the phone in his face. And he was just like, she's like, yeah, this is it. He's all like, well, I gotta get ready. I'll see you there.
Exactly. He
If
just
he were,
wanted
if,
promotion for his place.
right, if he were really interested in you, he's first he showered and wet, he invited you over there before y'all got to the shack, but he didn't do that. Just saying.
Kyle never mentioned before because of her daughters afraid to give them ideas.
Yeah, I
Okay,
remember that. She
okay.
said that she never wanted them to feel how she felt.
Well, she was in a tough industry as a kid, so I'm not surprised by that. And then I
Yeah,
know in episode 2, she talks to Cynthia about it because Cynthia does a game. Who's the prettiest? Who's the this? Who's the that? But Cynthia doesn't feel any way like that because she's a model. Her career is being judged on her physicalities.
she's used to it.
Yeah.
It's old hat for her. And then with
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, what she said was interesting. She's like, I was in industry, and then she said like, my sisters were blonde and thin,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't. And then she's all did this movie. And she's all went to school, and the kid said, well, we saw you in this movie. She's like, okay. She's like, and you look, and they told her like, you look fat, and she just said, I know, and I felt so bad for her in that moment.
But remember on the plane when she was saying, I feel like I'm at my heavy, I'm at 125, and she said my stomach and da da da. Um, she was talking to Ramona, and Ramona's response, I didn't like her response there, but later when they were at the villa and they were talking about it again, that's the Ramona, the mother hen Ramona that I like when she does give really good constructive advice.
But I think
Um,
beforehand on the plane though,
hmm,
I think Ramona was just trying to be nice and saying like, "Oh, I fluctuate, between this and this," not knowing the situation. But then they had the
mhm,
deeper conversation. Ramona then understood like, "Oh, this is a real issue for you. Let me like help you. Let me like." So I understood both. I wasn't too mad. I'm like, "You don't know what's going on." But then later when they revisit the conversation, I'm like, "Okay,
are there any puppies for Ramona to blame?
no puppies."
Puppies?
I remember one
Um,
trip she blamed the dogs. I think she blamed was it Sonia's dog that went with her?
oh my God.
Yeah, Trey, yeah. So Kyle's really I think Kyle might be the most petite on the show. So
She
for
is the
her
shortest.
for 125 on her is different on 125 on someone who's like 5'6", 5'7".
Mm-hmm.
It's a proportion thing.
Yeah. Um, she's 5 foot. Oh wow,
Yeah,
she is
Steven,
short.
it's a disorder. It's a mental disorder.
What is it called? Body dysmorphia? No, that's not it, right?
I think she went through one of the main two.
Uh, what else happened on here? Oh,
And body
when
dysmorphia and body
uh
dysmorphia is
when
by
you
most
lose a lot of weight, but you still think that
no
you're bigger
yeah,
mentally,
mentally you see
like your
yourself and
brain hasn't adjusted to what you really look like.
it doesn't have to be like you lost a lot of weight either. Anyone can have body dysmorphia to where
Mm,
it's a huge thing because like you can have someone who looks good but then they'll see someone else who they feel looks infinitely better
mhm.
and then something in their mind clicks like you need to be that. And if you don't look like that, you don't look good.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it tends to happen mostly to people who do lose a lot of weight. Um,
Mhm.
but it doesn't have to. It's not exclusively to people who've lost weight.
Okay. All right. So you don't see what other people see. Okay. I don't see what other people see. Um. Okay. So, when Melissa and Teresa are in the car, I guess driving to the plane, and Melissa says that she got a call from, oh my God, from who? Ramona. And she didn't want to tell Teresa until Teresa was like in the car and couldn't turn back. That they said, Ramona said something about the scarecrow comment. And she's like, do you understand? And Teresa's like, why? It flew right over her head.
She's like, what does that mean?
Teresa's not stupid. She just doesn't know like pop culture stuff. And there's certain things that she mispronounces, like coming.
Right.
But she didn't get that Wizard of Oz thing.
Because I think Ramona is the Tin Man, and I was like,
Right,
you
because the Tin
tried.
Man doesn't have a brain
Yeah.
either. And I'm like, wait, no, he didn't have the heart.
She's like, he's made of tin, so how can he have a brain? I was like, this is what we love. This is what we love, Teresa.
But Melissa is doing good at like dropping the seeds of
Right,
discontent.
right. She's gonna be the bone carrier this season.
But Teresa's being shady regarding her. You know, like there was one point in a confessional about OG
Right.
status, and Melissa shouldn't be on the
yeah.
show.
She's like, they're all OGs. Melissa's not an OG. Just saying. I was like, really?
It's a mess. Let's see. Cynthia says in her confessional that every single one of the women called her regarding Kenya, or in Ramona's case, Portia, to find out how she is and if she's really like that, like she is on the show on Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
I believe that.
Oof. Who would have thought that Melissa is does the most networking amongst the housewives?
Melissa must be famous. So I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. So of course Melissa's gonna be networking.
And she's good. It seems like she's buddy with Kyle because they go
Yes.
double dating in Vegas.
Right. But I could see that though. Now that group, I'm not gonna lie. Kyle and Mauricio, I would hang out with in a minute. Melissa and Joe, I would hang out with. Them together and just throwing PK and Dorit, I would be there for that. That group, well, I would be there for that.
PK.
We need Dorit for the fashions. We
don't.
Yes, we do. If we're going out, I need Dorit. What we can do with Dorit is, Dorit, girl, we just need you to look good. Don't say shit, but just look good.
We just need PK, Mauricio, Joe, and Frank.
Oh, that would be a trip.
We just need the boys.
That would be lit. They need to do they need to do a Real House Husbands Ultimate Guys trip. And they don't have to go anywhere international. They can just go to Vegas and act a fool.
They need to go to like a golf resort with gaming, like a combination, because you need daytime and nighttime action. You need Joe making stupid bets and dropping trout on the golf course during the day. And then at night you need PK them going into the casino and going to the strip clubs and stuff like that. Throw in a Todd and Phaedra's ex-husband Apollo.
That would be hilarious. And we might need to get Peter to come along too.
Oh, Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
And G.
Oh, that'd be a whole mess. Oh, they can do a getaway to his gentleman's club so we can see what's really going on there. Yeah, I'm messy. Whatever.
I was thinking about that gentleman's club, right? Wouldn't the physical therapist, the masseuse, and all of that be for the entertainers who might have like pulled a muscle doing a tennis ball pop? I don't know. I don't know what kind of tricks they could do, but I can see like a physical therapist or a masseuse coming in for the entertainment, not the patrons getting a rub down or stone
Right.
massage while somebody's flashing their titties in front of them. I don't get it.
Trey says the ultimate gotcha sounds good in theory, about the 2 days and 2 nights. It would be Trey. It could be an ultimate guys weekend,
Mm-hmm.
something like that, something quick and easy.
Yeah, just to see the debauchery and then see them flying back home. Like Mauricio would be out of his mind on edibles.
Right.
Yeah, and
So
PK having the munchies.
it's what you would do, because what they could do is they could film the guys on the trip, and then they can film it once they get back and explain to what happens with their wives. That would be hilarious.
God.
I'm just saying.
Ay, ay, ay. All right. What did you think about Cynthia on the plane, bringing out the picture of Brooklyn, cutting the umbilical cord, and then saying, I think we should give Kenya the master suite because she's going through a divorce. She's going through a lot. I'd have been, shut up, Cynthia.
But that's Cynthia riding for her girl, make sure her girl get the best room. That's all. She understands the assignment. She understands what she did was she's gonna put her bid in for Kenya because she knows how Ramona is. That's what that is. She knows Ramona's gonna try to get the best room. And so what she's gonna do, she put out there, let's be nice to Kenya. That way, if Ramona rebuts that, Ramona looks like an asshole.
Oh my God. Well,
That's what that
Ramona's
was.
gonna look like an asshole no matter what.
She is, but she's trying to save Ramona that. Well, she tried to save Ramona that part.
Sorry about that. I'm still wondering why Kyle is no longer scared to fly, but whatever.
Remember, she was going through therapy for that, or hypnosis, or
She
something
was
on
in
the table.
couples therapy with Teddy. That didn't
Teddy,
have nothing to do with flying.
true.
She's just a liar.
I think what it is with Kyle. Let's call it thing. I think she's afraid of flying commercial. Private, she's good. Just saying. That's just my theory.
Oh wait, hold on. But they could have to listen to the viewers. Easy for me to say. Wait, hold on. I have ADHD. It would be easy for me to say that she has some type of disability. It's not. She's pretty dumb because she wasn't taught to be smart. Wait, who y'all talking about?
Teresa.
Oh, I agree with you, Trey. What? Oh, well, we get to the villa. What did you think about the villa?
I wouldn't leave. I loved it, and I loved to see it. But the one thing I did love when they got there, when they started bickering about the rules, Kyle said, "I'm not about the bullshit. I'll just take the little bunk rule." And she went there in the hammock, and they're like, "Where's Kyle?" And they're like, "Kyle is living her best life."
Yeah, Kyle's not getting into it with y'all. I mean,
I just love
like she
seeing her
said,
be
we
that
don't
way.
do this in Beverly Hills.
She just promptly put her stuff down and went out and laid. She's like, "I ain't got time for this. Y'all, leave my feet in the water. Y'all handle that."
I like her little dresses though that she has.
Mm-hmm.
They're super, super cute. They probably cost a mint, but I like them. What else? Okay, so Ramona sneaks up to a room and just gets in. Now, I have my opinion, like you. Those are the clothes that she wore on the plane. Yes, it was private, but it's still a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Shared space.
Yes.
And she just went with her dirty feet up in the bed and dirty clothes that have been sitting in airplane seats that thousands of people have sat in. You could have that room.
And yeah, they confronted her, and she's like, "No." They're like, "Come on." She's like, "Okay." So I'm gonna take a shower. Like, what?
And then goes into the shower in the room that she's not supposed to be in.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. And then people are walking in, and she's just like scrubbing her.
Right. She had no chill. She did not care.
Why? Oh, and then Kyle and Melissa, they start talking. Apparently, someone is on Twitter twatting about everything that they're doing.
Right.
And they start putting two and two together because they're like,
verbatim.
Who is friends with this? And Kenya.
Kyle's a master at that. She can find who's following who. She's good at that.
she's a little bit too obsessed about who's following her and who isn't and whatever. But all of a sudden suspicion falls on Kenya because Kenya follows the person named Anthony
Mm.
who's sharing all of the information verbatim on what is happening from the time they board the plane to even up into the house when something happened in the house and they just arrived.
I
Um
I loved it.
what else is happening here? Uh
Oh, so Ramona's in the shower, and then the guy Michael walks in, and he's like, "Oh, they're like Ramona's in the shower." I'm like, "Oh, really?"
but wait, Michael is the concierge for this
Hmm.
facility, and his mom is the chef, so it's a family
Yes.
affair. Michael is married, but Luann, Ramona, who else looking at him salivating? Only the New York girls are doing that mess.
Yeah,
They, it's creepy, y'all. He could be your son,
that's what I was thinking.
and I heard he's married.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I heard he's married, but I could be wrong. I be hearing things half asleep. Let's see. How did
Okay.
Cynthia become the Ramona Whisperer on this trip?
Well, Cynthia's always like kind of so when she's kicking people in the stomach, she's the peacemaker. She just wants peace around her. She just wants she wants people to be well, and she Cynthia really wants um Cynthia really wants people to get along, and she also wants to see the best in people as well.
Oh my god. I
So
love
that's
her
her thing.
braid. She looks so pretty. Oh my god. Um, let's see. Okay, so does anything else happen at the house before they go off to dinner?
Not really. They got the room settled. Kyle,
Mhm.
like I said, Kyle and Melissa just said like, we're just gonna take this room. No big deal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's keep it
But
moving.
they're sharing the bunk room, right? But isn't
Right,
isn't Mauricio coming? What's Melissa gonna do? Unless Kyle's going to a hotel with Mauricio.
right. Which is probably what's gonna happen.
Okay. Okay. That should be
Oh,
interesting.
so if Mauricio's coming, I can't. I haven't seen episode 2 yet, but I can't wait for that to happen. I want to see Ramon's like, this is a girls' trip. Why is your husband here? Because remember what she did to Aviva when Aviva's husband took the plane down there to the island with her.
Didn't she do that with Alex McCord as well? Didn't Alex's husband show up somewhere, like season 1 or season 2? Like she's always done that.
Yeah,
She's all like, ew,
I can't wait for that one.
girl. Who's gonna attack Mauricio? Ramona, stop. Wait, when she came downstairs in that crochet macrame thing with her nipple covers and a thong, and everyone was like, is she naked? Is that her ass that we're seeing? And they were
Right,
eating?
right. That was hilarious. Like, do we have to see this? Why are we seeing this while we're eating? They're like,
And Luann
no.
came down in her little bikini and she's like, I'm going in the water.
Right.
The New York
It,
girls go straight to the beach.
yep.
The rest of them sit down and eat.
Luann looked it good.
Luann, look, Luann is in her mid 50s, I
50.
think. But that is what yoga does for a body. I mean, she looks amazing.
That's why she can wear anything.
Well, that and the fact that she's tall,
Yes. Oh, yes.
and she has good proportions. Like she's a really great hanger for clothes.
Yeah, she's healthy. She looks
Mhm.
really healthy too, which is fantastic.
Mhm.
And loving, I always liked Luann when she's not talking about cabaret. That's always been my sticking point. But I like Luann on this trip because she's going in. Look, Ramona, I got you until you make an ass of yourself, and then you're on your own. And I
Exactly.
love that she said that to her straight up, so there's no
Mhm.
miscommunication. Why don't you have my back? Well, you was acting the whole ass. So I told you this is
Mhm.
what's gonna happen.
Yep. Yep. Um, let's see. Okay, so they get to dinner. They go to the conch shack. Um, and Ramona is so annoying. She's gonna ruin this show for me. She really is.
You know what, Ramona? She's just hilarious to me because look, she is who she is. We may not always like it, but she is who she is. And I feel like Ramona, stop. You like stop it. Don't do it. Don't. Yep, there you go.
But then on the car ride over, it's Ramona, Kenya,
Kid,
and Teresa in the
Teresa.
car. And when Kenya gets in the car and she looks and she sees Ramona in there, she goes, "I sit in the back." And Ramona's like,
Yep, that was
and then
hilarious.
Teresa gets in and she's like, "Oh, really?" And poor Ramona, she's there talking, and Kenya is ignoring the smack out of her.
They both are.
Mm. So they get to the restaurant, well, the bar, well, whatever, out on the beach. And oh wait, well, no, I'll go back later. So she's there flirting with the bar owner, and all of the women are looking at her going, just leave her alone. Like, it is what it is, whatever. She was a cock blocker 6 years ago. She's just doing it again. Not like they're really interested in this guy,
Right,
but it's just rude that she's only talking to him and she's there with a whole group of women.
right. And you haven't seen this man in 6 years. What's wrong with you?
I think she's overhyping
Yeah,
the relevance of this man.
right.
Because it was like on the plane when Kenya was like, "So wait, you were flirting with this man and you were married? I think you were separated. Has she filed for divorce by that time when she went on that trip? I don't know."
I think if I recall correctly, I could be wrong. I think they had just separated.
Oh.
I think they had just made it. I think they were trying to work it out, and she had just made the decision to divorce, if I remember it correctly.
Almost sounded like that man was helping her make the decision to divorce.
But
That's how it was coming over to me.
to me, it came across as like she had made the decision. I mean, at the end of the day, she was embarrassed all over New York because people don't remember that Bethany had broke them out like before that though at the
No,
reunion.
well, when I'm saying how it sounded when she was explaining it on the plane,
Right.
it sounded like that man helped her along on the divorce train.
I don't know how when he wasn't interested in her.
He wasn't, because I was remembering back to 6 years ago where he was just like, "I'm so grateful that I'm getting all this free promotion on this show."
Right.
But on the plane, she was making it sound like
Right.
this man and her,
We're traveling back and forth, seeing each other, stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I doubt that you've even contacted him,
Exactly.
but that's why I think she took offense to Kenya calling her out, and why
Mhm.
the bitch came out both ways.
Right.
um so they actually sit down and they bring up the issue with someone who's tweeting about the trip, and Kenya says, "Oh, I know Anthony." Like, that's what I wonder, if it is her, or is she that good of an actress? Like, is she
I
feeding
don't
that
know
information to Anthony?
if it's verbatim, and to me that just seems like it would be too obvious.
You know what I thought? I thought that it was someone from production who is feeding that information to Anthony with a biased slant towards Kenya, knowing
Mhm.
that Kenya follows him, so that it would place doubt on her
I can go
in
with
the
that.
plot.
That makes sense because saying it's Kenya is like that's just too obvious.
Right, because Kenya like says, they say, "Oh, it's someone named Anthony," and she's just sitting there, "Oh yeah, I know him." It was as if she said, "Yeah, the sky's blue."
Yeah, I totally agree.
It was just very, very weird. But they talk about it. Kenya admits knowing him. Um, And then all of a sudden, it's Kenya and Ramona going at it.
Them two gonna stay going at each other.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I love it that Kenya told Ramona that she's an asshole.
Hey, someone had to say it.
It, New York ladies, do you see how easy it is? Like Bethany used to do this all the time. It can't just be Bethany who calls people out.
Right.
And when I say people, I mean Ramona. Um, Cynthia pulls Ramona aside, tries to break it down to her into little bite-sized pieces. Ramona actually listens, which is surprising. She comes back and she apologizes. But as we see from the clip, Ramona apologizes a lot. She's got this down pat.
That was hilarious. They did the montage. I'm like, really? Y'all so wrong for that.
And they did something similar for Kenya, because Kenya's thing was, you don't call people out of their name, but then they show a montage of her doing exactly that, including the "see you next Tuesday" to Tanya.
Right.
Because her argument was, you don't do that to people that you don't know. And then I think in her confessional, she's like, well, I know them.
What she said was, she's like, okay, so I do say bad things about people, but it was warranted after I got to know them. That was the funny part. Like, Kenya.
Oh, and an interesting segment in this, like, in addition to the like confessionals, they're gonna have like Housewives After Dark or something like that, where they go into like a real world type of, room at night and talk. Is that am I interpreting that right?
You're farther along than me. If you've seen,
No, it was a clip at the very
oh,
end. They only
you know
showed
what?
the set.
I didn't see the clip at the end.
Oh.
Right when it cut off, I just what's the episode? And I didn't watch any further.
Oh, I was just like, that's interesting. Okay, so we're gonna have two types of confessionals, I guess. Like, I guess I don't know how that's gonna work. I have to watch episode 2. Let's see. Okay. Ciao. Luann is Luann says it's good that Ramona apologized, but she's hesitant until she makes the next faux pas. Good on you.
She knows Ramona, so she knows what's gonna happen. She's gonna apologize, and then she's gonna do something wrong again, and she'll apologize again. Rinse, wash, repeat with Ramona. We know.
Exactly, because once she gets everything settled with Kenya, then Teresa brings up the scarecrow comment, and then she
Right.
has to run around the table and apologize and say, I didn't know you before, I didn't. But on the plane, when I found out that you're a best-selling author and this and everything that you've went through, you're an amazing woman. And the scarecrow believes it.
And Teresa's like, yes, thank you. Like, what? that whole conversation had me rolling.
It's if this is what this show is going to be about, with her putting her foot in her mouth and then apologizing, I don't know how. Anyway, Kenya stands up for Teresa and says that Ramona didn't know Teresa like that to say stuff like that. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is where I'm saying, like, I made a note, Housewives After Dark, and they have a confessional room. And then I wrote a note about Kyle telling Ramona about her body issues in the kitchen. And I thought it was really nice how the mothering side of Ramona comes out. I don't really like Ramona 98% of the time. But when she does things like this and how she relates to the other women on a personal level with some sort of feeling and compassion and empathy, that's when I like her.
Exactly.
I wish she did it more often. Her apologies are fake. Yeah. Was there anything else that happened on this episode?
No, it was really good.
I like I said, I like the bickering back and forth about not serious stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what Housewives was way, way, way back in the day. And it's nice to see petty arguments over crap in a nice location.
It's nice seeing people get to like a new cast. This is kind of like a new cast come together and get to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's short, they don't have
Yeah.
history. They don't have like too much history to rely on, and to carry them through.
You know what it is? They're well established characters, but they're completely new in this mix.
Right.
And that's what's intriguing because we all come with our favorites, our prejudices, and all of that with these well established characters. But this combination is new to us. So I think it's refreshing.
That's why it doesn't come out produced because they're just being their the authentic selves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, we just gotta go with this and run with it and let the chips fall when they're made. You can't strategize in a situation like this. I think that's pretty much what I'm trying to say.
Mm. I sincerely hope that this is the end of the road for Ramona. As we all know, this is the end of the road for Cynthia. I hope the same can be said for Ramona. And I hope
Hmm.
Luann can redeem herself on this.
Exactly. I don't think she can redeem herself. I hope she can try to do better.
This is refreshing Real Housewives crap. Oh. Tracy. Oh my God. What if she's at? Probably should. What do you think about Steven's comment?
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Okay, so this was The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, Season 1, Episode 1, When Wives Collide. How many episodes are we getting of this?
That was 8 for some reason.
Okay, so it's just 1 week at the villa, right?
Yes.
All right. This should be good. I think I like this. They finished filming at Dorinda's house for Season 2.
I can't wait for that. People running wild in her house. Oops.
In her freshly renovated house. Hope those Missoni rugs hold up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Aww. That's true, Stephen. That's very, very true. All right, guys, let us know what you think. Did you like this? Did you see that they dropped episode 4 today? So the first 3 were out as of yesterday, and episode 4 dropped today. We're going to be doing episode 2 tomorrow. I have to watch that. What else are we doing tomorrow? You're doing Project Runway.
Yes.
And then we're meeting back here in about 15 minutes to do This Week in Twitter and IG, Instagram.
Yep.
Okay. So, Jamal, any final words?
No, we're all set.
Yay! So, hopefully, you guys will see you again in 15 minutes just for a quick show to go through some funny things on social media. Until next time, Jamal.
Of course.
All right. Bye.
Bye.